Welcome to our interview, and the guest of our interview is Mrs. Özdemir. First of all, welcome to our interview, dear Mrs. Özdemir. First of all, can you introduce yourself, please?
Thank you. I'm Yaren Özdemir, and I'm an 11th grade student in Earth Science High School. I have been taking place in MUN conferences for 2 years, and I have over 15 experiences, and I'm really happy to be interviewing with you.
Thank you so much. And actually, I would like to say something about MUN conferences. Actually, I have got a MUN career since 2018, and I have 16 MUN experience with many different positions. For example, I joined many MUN conferences as a delegate, as a chair board member, and an executive board member. So I am very happy because you are the guest of our interview. So if you are ready now, we can start our interview.
Of course.
Okay. So first of all, I would like to ask to do this question. What is the MUN? What is your ideas about MUN conferences? And can you give some information about MUN conferences in detail?
Of course. So, Model United Nations, also known as Model UN or MUN, is an extracurricular activity in which students typically role-play delegates to the United Nations and simulate UN committees. Well, this activity takes place at MUN conferences, as I mentioned, and they are usually organized by a high school or college MUN club. At the end of the most conferences, outstanding delegates in each county are recognized and given an award certificate like the best delegate, outstanding delegate, and honorable mention. And thousands of middle school, high school, and college students across the country and around the world participate in Model United Nations, and it involves substantial researching, public speaking, debating and writing skills, as well as critical thinking, teamwork, and leadership abilities.
Thank you so much for this information. Actually, I have two honorable mention and one outstanding award from MUN conferences. And then actually I developed my English level thanks to MUN conferences, and there are many benefits of MUN conferences as social and benefit. So actually, Model United Nations Conference is a useful company for the high school students. So and then I would like to add something about MUN. Actually, I joined many physical MUN conferences before pandemic process. So as you know, it couldn't make Model United Nations conference as physical due to pandemic process, and MUN conferences are online now, not physical. So what do you think about this situation, and will physical MUN conferences be started in our conference? So physical MUN conferences will be started in the future. What is your ideas about this situation?
As you stated, we were not really able to attend physical conferences due to the pandemic. However, I believe that the online conferences cover the academic aspect of Model United Nations really efficiently, because the whole procedure and the process is pretty much the same, and the only change is that you're not able to socialize as much as a physical conference However, since you're all involved with all the documents, the debate, the caucuses, and etc., I believe that you don't lose a lot of things from the academic aspect of the whole Model United Nations form. But to be honest, I really enjoy physical conferences more compared to the online ones because it involves the gala dinner, social events, and that is actually a thing that makes MUN more memorable for me, and it has a significant part of my life due to the also the social part and aspects of the whole MUN.
Yes, I agree with you, and actually, I am missing physical annual conferences. Actually, I am developing myself uh, thanks to online email conferences. Uh, this situation is very good, but to be honest, physical MUNs are better than online MUNs.
Yes, I totally agree.
So, if you are okay, I would like to ask to the next question to you, if you are okay. If you are okay, I would like to ask to the next question to you.
I cannot hear you.
If you are okay, I would like to ask to the next question to you.
Of course.
So, as you know, there are many motion kinds for committee, and for example, we use unmoderated and moderated caucus for GA committees, but as you know, we use semi-moderated caucus in crisis committees. So, can you explain what is the difference between semi-moderated caucus, between unmoderated and moderated caucus, and can you give some information about this difference?
Well, before talking about the difference between them, I believe that it is the best to explain each of them individually and what is a caucus actually. A caucus is a form of motion actually. You give a motion and the caucus starts. So a moderate caucus is under the agenda item. Let's say there are a few topics and you want to discuss about them. If the delegate wishes to do so, they raise a motion to have a discussion upon topic under the agenda item, and during that, the other delegates are expected to vote upon this motion, and if there is a clear majority in the voting procedure, the motion will pass. And in unmoderated caucuses, as you all know, in all of MUN committees, you're expected to write committee documents. During these unmoderated caucus time, you're expected to work on these documents. If we're talking about a GA or Security Council committee, it is the resolution. But if you're talking about the crisis committee, it is a form of directive. It could be personal, joint, or committee. But the form semi-moderated caucus is not really something we're familiar with in GA committees. However, it is still a part of the Harvard procedure. So a semi-moderated caucus is the difference between the moderated and the semi-moderated is in moderated caucuses, individual speaker time is specific and each of the delegates are expected to fulfill that time. But in semi-moderated caucuses, the amount of time you speak is not limited to a certain point. However, the total speaker time is specified by the delegate giving the motion. So that's it.
Thank you so much. Actually, as you know, there are 20 minutes for unmoderated and moderated caucus in total time. So, what is the total time for semi-moderated caucus, and is there any difference about total time in semi-moderated caucus?
Well, the timing, as I have mentioned, the delegate specifies the timing. Let's say I am the delegate and I mention like motion to have a moderated caucus about blah 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 blah. Total time being let's say 10 minutes, individual speaker time being a minute. So it is still the delegate that specifies the amount of time that the speakers will deliver their speech. However, in semi-moderated caucus, since there isn't a term individual speaker time, they don't have to specify that. They just have to specify the total speaker time.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, as you know, delegates write a directive for crisis committee, and then delegates write resolution papers for GA committee. So what is the difference between directive and resolution papers?
Well, I believe that the best thing to talk upon these is to specify the type of committees, because apart from GA and crisis, we also have different committees.
Yes,
so,
I know. But actually, I wanted mention about difference between GA committees and crisis committees. So, and I think this issue is very important for our interview, and then actually, as you know, in GA committees, the delegates write a working paper first of all, and after that draft resolution paper, and after the secretariat approved to the draft resolution paper of the delegates, it can be a resolution paper, and then the paper is the resolution paper. But actually, there is a procedure of writing a directive. So can you give some information about it?
So, as I mentioned before, there are three forms of directives. The first one is personal, the second one is joint, and the third one is a committee directive. So, depending on the committee and the agenda item, it could be open. However, it actually depends on the proceeding. And if the delegate wishes to write a directive by themselves, they can write it as a personal directive, and directives are expected to take an action upon a specific issue, and there are also types of directives, and they're regarding their aim. It could be an assassination directive, it could be a spy information request, correspondence between characters, deals and negotiations, or requesting a press release. So but the aims of directives are specifically these ones, and the general aim is to take action in a detailed way, answering WH questions. So it is pretty much that. And the signatories actually define the type of directive that is written.
Thank you so much for the information. Actually, I would like to say something about this issue. I joined many GA committees in our MUN experiences, and I have many GA committee experience in our MUN conferences, and then sorry, and actually I think there is a question into the participants and people, and then should I join a GA committee or a crisis committee? Which is the better, GA committee or crisis committee? And what is your ideas for it, and the participants should join a GA committee or crisis committee first of all? Which would be the better?
Well, actually, it depends on the amount of experience you have, and I don't think that we should just limit it to GA and crisis committees. You should keep in mind that there are also other committees available. So if you believe that the topic of a GA committee interests you, and if you like writing resolutions and discussing upon things, a GA would be good for you. However, if you have more than 5-6 experiences, or maybe even less, you could try a crisis committee and see it for yourself if it is efficient and beneficial for you. But it also depends on the procedure you enjoy and the procedure you would like to move on with, since I will be mentioning in the next minutes that there are 2 types of procedures, so it depends on which one you enjoy the most.
Thank you for this information. And actually this question is the most important for our interview. And what is the social and individual benefits of MUN conferences? First of all, I would like to sample about myself. Actually, I developed my English level thanks to MUN conferences, and then I gathered many information about UN and UN committees. So I think there are many benefits of MUN conferences, and for example, I gathered many information about UN and UN committees. So what is your ideas about this question?
Well, I believe that apart from the academic aspect, I will be focusing on that as well. But you get to meet a lot of people, and they may be from different countries, and you will see a lot of different perspectives, and people really discuss upon, and people really have different beliefs upon certain topics. So it is really great to be in a diverse environment and get to discuss certain topics. However, in MUN conferences, you have to speak upon your point of view of the country. But apart from the formal session, you get to meet people from different places with different opinions on different topics. So that is really great for me. And for the academic part, the English level is pretty much really high when you attend MUNs if you're consistent and if you're aiming to achieve success. And you are able to work on documents pretty easier, and in your maybe school essays, you get to write them really fast, and you use more advanced vocabulary, let's say. Apart from that, I believe that in physical MUNs, you get to actually have fun and maybe dance, or get to spend time with your fellow delegates, and I think that's really fun.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I would like to ask something as a specific question about myself. As you know, I joined many MUN conferences, and I have 16 MUN experiences. So, what do you think about my English level? Have you got any idea about my English level? Because I would like to learn your ideas.
Well, the amount of experiences I believe that the more you attend MUNs, the more you get to experience the environment. However, it depends on how much you focus on it, because you can have 15, 16 experiences. I'm not talking about any specific person, but you could have 16, 17, maybe 20 experiences, but you're still not able to be in front of a public and deliver a speech. But I believe that your English level is pretty much fine, and it is a high level, and you're able to express yourself. And for each language, I believe that that's the most important thing. So that would be my comments.
Yes, thank you so much. And because I would like to I give importance for your ideas. So I wanted to ask this question to you. So thank you for your answer. And the last question is about crisis committees and GA committees as general. So actually, I would like to give us something about GA committees. As you know, I said that before. I joined many MUN conferences in GA committees. So to be honest, I like GA committees because GA committees are more enjoyed than crisis committees for me. So GA committees are my favorite committees for me. So, what do you think about GA committees and crisis committees as general? Do you like crisis committees or GA committees? And actually, I would like to add something again. As you know, I joined GA committees, but I joined crisis committees in MUN conferences many times, and I like it crisis committees. But to be honest, GA committees are my favorite committees for me, and this is my personal idea. So, what is your ideas about this issue?
Well, first of all, I believe that our favorite procedure is different. I'm more of a person who is involved more in time, which I will be explaining in the future. So as I am more involved in time, I have been involved in I guess two or three GA committees as a delegate, although I have chaired more than that. I believe that they're really great and they're fun. However, in time and procedure, my favorite committee overall is in English Security Council because in that committee you have the power and you can urge things if you want, and the delegates are usually experienced, so the debate is really enjoyable. But if you talk about crisis committees, like the JCC procedure is not really the best for me. I don't really enjoy war committees. However, futuristic committees as well as historical crisis committees are really enjoyable, and I have also been in an Interpol committee once, which was semi-crisis, in which we did not write a resolution. However, the committee moved on with directives and open and close debate, so that was also really enjoyable. So if we had to compare it, I would say that a semi-crisis committee would be my favorite if we compare the GA and the crisis.
Actually, I have joined two crisis committee in American Civil War, and actually I joined three or four crisis committee in the MUN conferences, but I have joined American Civil War committee in conferences. To be honest, historical JCC committees are very funny and useful for the all participants. And because I like historical JCC committees for in the crisis committees, and historical JCC committees are my favorite committees in crisis committees for myself, and I like it both. I like GA committees and crisis committees so much, but GA committees are my favorite committees for me, but I like historical JCC committees in general.
Well, I do not agree with you. However, like it depends on your preference, and if you enjoy working on documents, Taiwan is better for you. But like that is actually a debate, and I get to like discuss on that, like Harvard versus Taiwan or crisis versus jail. Like that's a pretty huge topic, and we discuss this pretty often. So this video is not about that. We're just trying to like give information, and you will be able to get to decide on what you're aiming to attend.
Okay. And so if you want, we can make a break for 5 minutes. Is it okay for you?
We can just share the presentation about the procedures, if that's also okay.
Oh, okay. So if you want, you can share your screen for your presentation.